In individual sports like tennis, your income depends almost entirely on how well you perform in tournaments. One bad injury can cost you millions of dollars. Now, I don't need these anymore, thank God. But a few weeks ago, Holger Rune tore his Achilles in the middle of a match, an injury that will keep him sidelined for at least a year. In 2025, he earned $2.9 million in prize money. In 2026, he will likely earn zero. And that's not counting losses in endorsements, exhibitions, bonuses, or the fact that he's going to have to pay for all of his rehab out of pocket while not earning on court. So today we're diving into the brutal financial time bomb that tennis players face, but also a hidden cost that injuries have that goes beyond money. So welcome back to the channel. Let's just go right at it.
That's a silly boy you are. All right, Daddy needs to film, so get out of here. Now, Holger's situation is obviously a worst case scenario, but given his age and success on tour so far, I'm sure he's going to make a strong comeback. That being said, Holger's example shows how fragile the sport can be. Because in my opinion, if an injury like Holger's happens to a player who, is climbing up the rankings, spending a lot of money, trying to make it into the top 100, it could potentially derail a career so far that it might not be worth making a comeback. Now, the ATP does a good job with a protected ranking, which it's supposed to help players navigate injuries in situations where they have to be away from the game for a long time. But regardless, it's still very complicated to come back from injuries. Now, I've been really lucky with injuries in my career, but in 2025, my luck changed a little bit. The reason why I even have the crutches here is because earlier in the season, I tore my calf. Starting 2025, I was at my highest ranked ever, ranked top 260 in the world. And I was essentially one or two good results away of making the French Open qualies. Now, I didn't perform very well in the first couple of months of the season, so that's obviously on me, but when my calf injury happened, I was on the final chase for the French Open. There's still a few weeks left in order for me to gain enough points to make it. And in the first tournament of that final push, I tore my calf mid-match, had to retire. Now, I don't know if I would have made it to the French Open. I wasn't playing that great, but not knowing because of an injury versus not knowing just purely on your performance is a little bit frustrating. And that what if can mean losing 30, 40, even $100,000 in potential earnings. And as we've seen with Valentin Vachereau in the past couple of months, a guy who was ranked outside the top 200 and now is a Masters 1000 champion, one great week can change your financial situation in this sport forever. But on the flip side, one bad injury can take that away overnight. Now, here's something to keep in mind. The tennis calendar is built around a rolling 52-week system. You're really either adding points or defending points from the previous year. When I tore my calf, I was in that adding phase. I had opportunities to move up because I wasn't defending many points, and the injury sort of stopped that momentum cold. And now my shoulder injury happened during my defending phase. In 2024, I did very well in the back half of the season with a few semifinals of challengers, a lot of quarters, so I was adding a lot of points. And as I'm not competing until 2026, I'm losing ground every week. My ranking is plummeting. More on my rehab process and the costs of everything in a second. But before that, I just want you to remember, tennis players don't really have an infrastructure to fall back on when they get injured. In team sports, if I get injured, it sucks, but I have an infrastructure of people around me trying to, get me healthier as fast as possible. I still have a salary coming in every week, but in individual sports like tennis, it's kind of up to you to find that structure, to find people that you trust to do that work for you, and then to pay it out of pocket, most likely, while really earning no dollars. Again, there are structures in place. The ATP does provide health insurance at a cost, but the players can pay and it'd be a little cheaper, I think, than doing it, especially in the US, which is crazy. So there are certain things that help. Again, I'm not here to complain, just kind of showing the reality, of playing individual sports. And my reality right now is rehabbing my shoulder to try to get back on tour. So let's see how that's going.
So on my way to the gym here, my PT is gone for a couple of weeks. So, I got homework to do. I have to go out there and do my exercise and everything that needs to be done. But let me tell you, I fucking hate being injured. I know it's obvious, nobody likes it, and I might not be the toughest guy, but I've always been pretty good at, you know, kind of playing through stuff. The recovery process is slow, it's painful, as you're about to see, and it's costly as hell. And you're basically having to work twice as hard just to get back to baseline and not really, you know, you're not even feeling like you're getting, you know, better at your craft. You're just trying to manage your body or breaking body. Now, I'm not gonna film my gym session here because I'm not an asshole. I don't like to, you know, be filming stuff in a public gym. But let's watch a little bit of what we've been doing for rehab. Let's go.
There's my boy Panos right there. We're about to do a little PT. One more day. He's gonna hurt me today. I'm in pain. There he is. There's Panos. What's up?
Your pain is, I mean, nothing close to take me to the hospital pain, but I've just like, I'm having just more movements during the day where I'm just like, oh, that kind of sucked, you know, or if I had to like lift something, I was like, oh, that kind of sucked. So I wouldn't say it's like that bad, but it's just like more sensitive to certain movements, and I don't know if it's, maybe I'm just like hiding it, you know. It could be like that it might be pulling something, but
yeah, let's see what's coming.
Hey, okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold. Unlocking the door with the holy key. You supposed to be this close to me, and hopefully you understand G.O.D. Maybe this cold and I'm talking like no degrees. This ain't a fluke. I seen it way before it ever happened. He gave me the view. I had to put in my time on the TV. It coming in soon. I couldn't leave it all up to a variant or an experience. You gotta get up and do what it do. So complicated, homie, it's you. Always gonna wait until you in the mood. I've been running, came out gunning, stopped the frame on your word. It's what you hear, not what you heard. I'ma hang on every verb. I'ma show you what it's worth. Every day I'm on the earth till they put me in it.
Another day of physical therapy. The last one kind of sucked, but it did help. The ebbs and flows of recovery can be very annoying too. I think there's a hope where it's like, oh, that actually worked, and you're like, you think you're cured, and maybe then you overdo it a little bit, and that part can be actually very frustrating. So just setting the right expectations when you're recovering, it's a thing that I'm learning, and the thing that Panos keeps telling me as well, because you know, it can swing both ways. I'm, you know, either feeling crappy and shitty and I'm like, God, it's gotten worse, or you know, I start feeling like maybe too good and I overdo it. So let's go at it one more day. There he is, Mr. Panos. We got the ball today. I'm like all bruised. We'll go at it. Looking jacked right now.
Let's party.
And guys, just a quick break here to thank today's video sponsor, Element. Yes, you're seeing this right. It's a can of sparkling Element. Woo! Element Sparkling now comes in 12-ounce slim cans with 4 incredibly refreshing flavors: pineapple salt, black cherry salt, lemonade salt, and orange salt. Each can delivers the same element ratio, but with half the electrolytes, 500 milligrams of sodium, 100 milligrams of potassium, and 30 milligrams of magnesium. Perfect for everyday hydration. I love drinking these after my practice. Nice and cold with a lot of ice. And regardless if you drink the sparkling or the drink mix, you know that Element has none of the junk.
No sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no BS. Electrolytes facilitate hundreds of functions in the body, including conduction of nerve impulses, hormonal regulation, nutrient absorption, and fluid balance. Element can help prevent and eliminate headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, sleeplessness, and other common symptoms of electrolyte deficiency. You guys know I love Element by now. I take it with me everywhere, and I have the sparkling one as well to keep me hydrated. So if you want to try it out right now, Element is offering a free 8-count sample pack with Element's most popular drink mix flavors with any order. Get yours at drinkelement.com/mytennishq. Again, that's drinklmnt.com/mytennishq. Go try them out. Link in the description.
All right, from the gym to the court here to run a few sprints and try to see if I can stay fit. But as you can tell from that montage, that's kind of the work that you have to do when you're injured. Those were just a couple of days. There's many, many more to come. But yeah, that's a little bit of the grind that I'm at right now. And so far in this couple of months of being injured, I've probably spent close to $5,000. First with diagnosis and trying, getting MRIs and all that stuff. Then seeing a specialist, cortisone shot. You guys, if you live in the US, you know the drill here with medical bills. They're not cheap. And then obviously the cost of PT. I actually recently met Panos through another tennis player, and we started working together. He is fantastic and worth every penny, but again, it's an expense that is there, that's real. Now, to be fair, since I'm not traveling and playing and spending all that money on the pro tour, it kind of evens out. And what makes this even trickier is that, the YouTube channel and my pro career kind of go together nowadays. And when I can compete, obviously things slow down a little bit. I wasn't expecting to get injured, but I was aware that it could happen. And it is a part of the sport that's super boring. That's why I haven't made videos about this, because I find it incredibly boring. It takes away so much of my joy. I like to play sports, I like to be out there. I'm not really a gym guy or a recovery session guy. I just like to play games. So beyond the money, there's a bigger mental cost that comes from not being able to do what you love. And that's what I want to talk about next. But first, I gotta run some sprints here and make my boy Panos proud. Now, something I've had to learn this year while dealing with all these injuries is how emotionally costly they can be. That inability to be able to perform at the level that you feel like you can, that you think that you can be very challenging. And I'm not even talking about being on tour. I'm just talking about purely being able to be active day to day. Just going out to hit some balls, train. There's no ATP points on the line, no prize money, no YouTube video coming, just coming out here, playing a little tennis, getting a sweat in. For me and for most of us, I think movement and mental health are extremely tied together. I've been an athlete for over 20 years. I like the structure that it gives me. I like the meaning of pursuing something that you can never perfect, but you keep chipping away at it. Do I love it all the time? Fuck no. But without it, it's definitely been hard to feel like I'm mentally at the top of my game all the time. Now, I'm at a stage of my life where I have other things outside of tennis that can keep me grounded, which is a great thing. It's a great place to be. But think about a young prospect who's all in on tennis right now, right? They're sacrificing everything in order to succeed at the sport. And then boom, injury comes, progress halts to a stop. And that happens so often. And I wanted to bring the perspective of a player who's dealt with pretty severe injuries given his age. His name is Patrick Gibson. We played actually earlier this year in Cary. He's always been sort of the top of his age class and a lot of expectations behind him, but has had some bad luck with injuries. So here's what he has to say. All right, so just to recap, he's 26 years old. He's already had 3 surgeries and 2 protected rankings. He starts by saying that he thinks is the toughest thing you can go through. With his most recent injury, he was defending a ton of points during that time, and he was just watching himself plummet down the rankings, which is brutal. It's happening to me right now. You just see your work just kind of going down the drain basically. He also says that in a team environment, your career is more secure, most likely because you are on contract, and you also have a team of medical professionals who have been vetted constantly around you. And for us tennis players, we obviously need to find the best medical professionals that we can, but on our own. And something very introspective that he said is that you don't get to just walk into an arena and, you know, people are there to take care of you. In order to heal, it needs to come from within. The desire to heal yourself and stay motivated is totally dependent upon yourself. And to echo what I said earlier, he also mentions the financial stress, the inability to compete and make money and paying everything out of pocket. And plus, we all have normal living expenses, right? It's not just like we don't spend all of our money in tennis, we have to pay for to live. And to end, he mentions that, you know, he tries to do a good job accepting things that he can control in this specific moment. So again, shout out to Patrick. Awesome response. Go check his social media, leave a link down below. I think he's on his way to the top 100, so you're probably gonna see him on TV a lot more often. But yeah, this is another chapter of turning pro at 30. It is all part of the journey that I started 2 years ago. This has been a really tough personal challenge. As someone that hasn't dealt with a lot of injuries in his career, managing all of this hasn't been easy, you know, but it's, you know, life throwing stuff at you, and you have to figure out and learn from it. And I do think that will bring me a new appreciation to the sport and to the process and everything that comes with competing professionally. So yeah, hopefully you learned something about tennis today. If you did, make sure you click that like button. It helps. The hype button down there as well. And there's more to come, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys on the next one.